Okay, so we're gonna start looking at artwork, and I just have to give a shout out to my son Louis Paul back there videotaping things because, and all things technical, he makes me look really good. So he helped me put together this wonderful PowerPoint. We had a really complex inventory thing that we wanted to make easy so that gals hosting the gallery could keep track of the scrolls that are being sold. He did all that, and he's a real busy tech person, and so I was just lucky to get some of his expertise, and I really appreciate him. But so we've decided to divide it up into basically 3 sections. Before I got cancer, showing you the artwork I was doing then, and it gives you a little bit of a hint as to why I decided to go this route. Then the paintings I did when I went through treatment, and then the after effects of being a patient pioneer, which is probably the most challenging part of the whole thing. Okay, this is the before. There's roughly 10, 12 slides in each section. This might be slightly pixelated because I got it out of my historical works. But I'm going to start out because of being an artist and having my husband talk me into using my journal, and I'm not a writer like him. I just thought, you know what, I really, really want to include some of my art in the book. So if you don't mind, I'm going to read the captions. If one of the slides of a piece that's in the book comes up, I'm going to read the caption right from the book. And I brought my reading glasses so I can do that. Most of, I'll just read you this caption. Waterfall. Finding a state of balance has been a common theme in my paintings, especially those done during the years when my husband was working long hours developing his company and I was raising our 3 young children while being a university adjunct professor and a multiple gallery represented artist. And so I think probably many of the women in the audience relates to that, that there are certain years in your life when you have kids and you have a job and you have a passionate career that you're working on, that it's not always easy. So there was quite a few of these balanced paintings. In the last one, in the waterfall one, I wanted this to look treacherous, like you don't know where she's going, but I wanted her to have confident body language as if she knew what she was doing, because a lot of times that's the front I put on, that, you know, just trying to find a little balance here. So you can see the ball she's balancing on. And sometimes I work symbolically, and spheres has always been an important symbol for me. So in this one, she's balancing on a ball, she's holding a ball, and there, what is that blue thing up in the air? Is it something in the sky? Is it? I look often for an alignment, something that you might look to help kind of guide you along the way. Sometimes the figures during this period found, you know, I used a tree imagery, being up in a tree, and maybe the limbs don't really look like they're going to support this person, because a lot of times I think I felt the ground's, you know, is whatever's under me is just going to give way. And so I had to think, what am I going to do about that? So this woman jumping is sort of how I felt during this time of giving a confident leap, like knowing what you're doing, but you can see that we can't really see what's under her. How is she going to land, and is she going to pull that out? And so many times, I got to tell you, you know, I get the kids to school or breakfast or just the whole morning routine. On my way to campus is when I thought of my lectures or whatever, you know. And so I was just kind of hanging on there for some of the times. And I felt so many times I just get done with one thing and there'd be more to do. The, what's the word? Sisyphus? Yeah, task that never seemed to stop. Okay, this is about alignment, and it's very much, I think, something that a lot of artists that work from nature look for, ways that things line up geometrically, and this will come up later, so just sort of, I'll walk you through this. these twin, I have two boys, these aren't my boys, but a lot of times these twin models that I use often kind of were a stand-in for my boys. They, you know, raising boys, I came from a family of 4 girls, and it was such a revelation that boys had emotions. I mean, and they often would show sides to me that seemed so very human instead of anyway, so they have sticks here, and you see the way I kind of started from this little rectangle down here, square, and just squared everything up. So it's kind of embedding them, the figured ground in nature there of the sticks. And sometimes the alignments that I'm looking for is just the energies with nature. I mean, you guys must have a relationship with Manzanita, either living here or visiting here. And you know, I mean, I got down here with this show and I was, you know, so stressed earlier in the week, and then, you know, the fam went for a little surf session. I got in the water with the boogie board and instant beach time and instant grounding and all that. So I think one of the reasons we have a place here is we're always looking for grounding, and so this dancer in her skirt kind of echoing the motion of those clouds. Here's another one that's in the book, and I think I'm going to just read to you from it. She balances precariously, her left hand holding a breast-sized luminescent globe that acts as a beacon to light her path through the darkness. Well, as I told you, I think that spheres are a great symbol because you can kind of assign to them whatever you want. And so in this, my interpretation post doing the painting was, well, maybe they're spheres that are breast size. This one, Juggle, I'm going to read that because this was written by art writer Roberta Carrison, who did an artist profile of me for the magazine Art Limited. It's a West Coast art magazine. In her 2003 painting, Juggle 3, depicts a woman running with zest and vigor as she balances 3 balls on top of each other. Their colors are orange, red, blue, and white. The blue and the red could represent healthy and unhealthy breasts. They are breast size. While the white could represent the ice ball that was used for surgery. Interestingly, this was the last painting Ross Paul created before she found out she had breast cancer, and it was an ice ball that eventually saved her breasts. So this is kind of really strange for me because it is the last painting I found out before I found out I had breast cancer. And it is really weird that this ghosty arm right here is holding this white ball, but and then what are these things in the air kind of helping her along? And you know, she's running. The whole thing is a mystery to me because it almost foreshadows the whole little thing that started falling in place. Now, I don't want to, you know, I think any cancer treatment's great, and I don't want to put one above the other, but for me, teaching life drawing and painting for 20, you know, my whole teaching career, I had really come to sort of appreciate the female body in all its forms, shapes, and sizes. I just like the way its creator created the form. And, you know, our mother kind of suffered one of those really awful breast mutilations. They did it when they treated them for breast cancer in the 50s. And I didn't like how it made her body look. And I was just pissed at cancer for doing that and then eventually taking her life. And I just sort of thought, you know what, this is like defacing the Mona Lisa or something. I just sort of made an internal judgment that I would like to look for something that might, you know, not let cancer win on me, not even take a body part. And that's part of my motivation. So